Alligator Tuesday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, and McGroin Nation coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned on this beautiful day, this beautiful opening of Alligator Alcatraz Day. Come on now. Who is excited for Gator Tuesday? It is Gator Tuesday. It is Gator morning. It is Alligator Alcatraz Day. I am very excited. I woke up at 5:40 this morning because I couldn't breathe through my nose. And so I decided, you know what we should do? You know what's got to happen? We've got to make a spoof of the official opening of Alligator Alcatraz. I gave the remarks before Trump gave the remarks this morning. Take a look.
Welcome to Alligator Alcatraz, where everyone is welcome. You see what I did there? Chomp, chomp, chomp. We have the greatest gators. Nobody's ever seen gators like this. I get along very well with them, by the way, but we have the greatest and biggest and strongest alligators with the biggest teeth. Their teeth are bigger than Kathy Hochul's teeth. You know, I call her the bucktooth Botox bandit of Buffalo, and she's got huge teeth, the wicked witch of the Northeast. You look at her, and these gators' teeth are bigger, and they keep them in their mouth, unlike another bloodthirsty reptile by the name of Nancy Pelosi. You know, you need a windshield wiper to get through a conversation with her because she's spitting all the time. She spits like nobody's ever seen before. It's a really horrible thing. But we have beautiful gators. I get along very well with these alligators. I've been known to handle bloodthirsty reptiles before. Just look at what I did to crooked Hillary Clinton. And we also have big, beautiful snakes. You know, you have the snakes out there in the Everglades. And if you escape, these snakes are going to find you. They're going to squeeze you harder than Harry Sisson squeezed his cheeks with his little sit-down last week with Don Lemon. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Alligator Alcatraz is open and ready for business. It's officially ready to go. Everyone is welcome, and no one will be left behind. That much I can tell you. So thank you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless Alligator Alcatraz. And thank you for your attention to this matter.
There you go. Alligator Alcatraz officially open. Your favorite president gave his little remarks there. Had a little fun with that this morning. I've been thinking about it since last night. What we were going to do. And then, of course, you know, in the shower, you always come up with the best ideas. That's my thing. If I need the best ideas to streamline, go take a shower. Burn yourself a little bit.
On the toilet sometimes that
or something. Yeah. Well, sometimes I've come up with really good ideas in the bathroom. Yep, the bathroom is the magic spot. That's like my it's like my Zen area. What do they call a place where you do karate? What is the name of that place? Dojo. That's it.
Oh, I would have.
The bathroom is my dojo. It's where the good ideas come from. All right. Mojo. Okay. So Alligator Alcatraz is open today. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a little update with who I believe should be inmate number 1 at Alligator Alcatraz. Who should be, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, who should be inmate? He was number 1. Who should be inmate number 1 at Alligator Alcatraz? Who?
No, inmate number 1.
Who? Inmate number Juan, right? Who should be inmate number? Mexican word of the day is Juan. No Juan will be left behind at Alligator Alcatraz. Who should be inmate number 1 at Alligator? Yes, Kemley's got it. Boom. Kilmar Abrego, wasting away again in Margaritaville. Kilmar Abrego Garcia. And then inmate number 2, right? Inmate number 2 should be Lopez. Inmate number 3, Chris Van Hollen from Maryland. I'm just kidding. But Kilmar Abrego Garcia should be inmate number 1 at Alligator Alcatraz. But a Tennessee judge is holding him. First, he was supposed to be released. Now he's being held. Why is that happening? CNN promoting an ice block app? What is this? We're going to get to all that in the first portion of the show. Got some more in the second portion of the show. Before we get to all of our fun stuff with Alligator Alcatraz, LFA TV does have a correspondent who's going to be on the scene later today. The great Ed Zoll is going to be down there at Alligator Alcatraz today. Before we get to that, I want to get to a word from our good friends, our great friends, our highly respected friends. They do very well with their goats, and they treat their goats a lot better than the Ayatollah. That much I can tell you. Denise and Corey at OFP Farms. Ladies and gentlemen, bring out the holiday cheer. See, holiday cheer, it's July. We're talking about bring out the holiday cheer. OFP Farms just decked the Star-Spangled Halls with their Christmas in July sale. Use your code Sean to save 35% off while roasting chestnuts on a beach bonfire as the sun sizzles. Revel in the joy of the not quite season with naturally fabulous goat milk and tallow products. It is the perfect chance to stock up on old favorites or try something new, all while enjoying a discount as glorious as a bald eagle soaring over amber waves of grain. While others are busy with fireworks and freedom fries, true patriots will be adding a touch of holiday cheer to their summer because nothing screams America the beautiful like a July breeze and goat milk soap. Again, use the code Sean at OFPFarms.com. Take advantage of this 35% off sale. 35% off at OFPFarms.com. You see it right here on your screen. 35% off at OFPFarms.com. That is Oscar Foxtrot PapaFarms.com, OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean for 35% off. That's OFPFarms.com, promo code Sean. Pick up some of this. Look at it. Nothing says America like Outlaw Soap. Right? Look at this. Right? Look at that. What are you? You don't have OFP Farms? And as the great Tony Cash would say, what are you, sick? Right? Come on. OFPFarms.com, promo code SHAWN for 35% off. You could be smelling like a felon today. Spread that holiday cheer. Second half of the show, we've got a crazy... By the way, Donald Trump and Elon Musk are fighting again. So, it seems like this is going to be one of these things that happens once a month. Elon's again talking about spending, and threatening a third party. We'll explain to you why that third party idea won't work. And I've said this not just about... I'm not just saying this because Elon's opposing Trump here. I even said it after 2020, 2021, stolen election. Everyone's like, the Patriot Party. Yeah, good idea. Not practical, though. It's a good idea in theory, but a third party won't work. Not because of any other reason other than math, okay? So we'll do some math. A Gallup poll also kind of backing up where we're at there. We don't want to ruin anything in terms of how we feel. Again, Gallup poll kind of backing up the idea about a third party as well. There happens to be more diversity of thought on the right, by the way, than there is on the left. Isn't that interesting? I thought we were a cult. Cults don't usually have diversity of thought, right? Am I right? I'm right.
Right.
Cults don't usually have diversity of thought. But of course, the left has the issue with diversity of thought. John Fetterman embarrassed himself yesterday. We'll talk about that. CNN promoted an ICE blocking app, so we'll get to that as well. Alligator Alcatraz is open, and there are Democrat donors who are not exactly chomping at the bit like an alligator after an illegal alien for Kamala Harris to become the next governor of California. Kamala Harris wants to run for governor of California.
Aye.
And the donors are like, we don't know where we put our forks. What are we going to do? Right? So Kamala thinking she's going to be the governor of Cali. And these donors are saying, well, not so fast. We may not actually want to vote for you or support you from a financial standpoint. So we do have all of that to talk about. I've got a statement from Caroline Leavitt about Alligator Alcatraz. We've got Donald Trump before he departed the White House talking about Alligator Alcatraz. We'll jump into Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the latest thing there. Some more good stuff from the One Big Beautiful Bill. In the chat, is the One Big Beautiful Bill a perfect bill? In the chat. Do we know the answer?
No bill is a perfect bill.
No bill. Well, there are, single issue bills could be perfect.
Okay.
Right? Well, you might be right. There's no such thing as perfect, right? Something's going to be wrong with it. But is the One Big Beautiful Bill a perfect bill? Yes or no? CQ says no. The One Big Beautiful Bill is not a perfect bill, right? It's not. Did we expect the One Big Beautiful Bill to be a perfect bill? If you've been listening to this show, did I expect the One Big Beautiful Bill to be a perfect bill? Did you expect the One Big Beautiful Bill to be a perfect bill? Did anybody tell you to expect the One Big Beautiful Bill to be a perfect bill? No. Nobody expected the One Big Beautiful Bill to be a perfect bill, okay? Why? Because no bill is perfect, A. B, You have a very thin House majority, which means a lot of people are going to be asking for things, which means a lot of people are going to be taking things. This is the way politics works. Elon Musk doesn't seem to understand it. Now he's fighting with Donald Trump again and is threatening a third party. But there are some good elements of the One Big Beautiful Bill that we should be fighting very, very hard to preserve. Okay? So we have some good stuff about the One Big Beautiful Bill as well. Coming up, we will start off with Alligator Alcatraz in just a second. Before we get to that, I want to get to a word from our friends over at My Patriot Supply. Big Independence Day sale, 4th of July, just 3 days away. And My Patriot Supply is going big with this beautiful sale, this beautiful deal they've got running for you. It's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Look, the headlines are getting crazier by the minute. You got an unstable situation in the Middle East, reports of sleeper cells here in the United States, and the looming threat of nuclear proliferation. Nobody knows what's coming next, but one thing is absolutely clear. When a crisis hits, it is too late to prepare. You're supposed to prepare. That's what the pre stands for in prepare. You're supposed to prepare for a crisis before the crisis so that when there is a crisis, it's not a crisis for you. You get it? You got it? Good. That is why I want you to look at the Independence Day bundle, the Independence Day preparedness bundle from My Patriot Supply. It includes a massive 1-year emergency food supply, a whole year of emergency food, a whole year, right? And this food supply has a 25-year shelf life. So if something happens next year or the year after that or the year after that or 20 years from now, you're still covered from one purchase. One emergency preparedness bundle here at mypatriotsupply.com. With that, during the Independence Day sale, they're throwing in over $1,200 in free survival gear with it. So you're talking about a full year of food, a solar, a way to back up your power with solar, water filtration, everything you need to ride out whatever may be coming with lightning fast free shipping. Check out this bundle now at mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. That is mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. It's more than just a great deal. It might be your last best chance to get your house in order before the you-know-what hits the fan. But the special offer is not going to last long. It's only going for a couple more days. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned and take care of this now. Don't wait. mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. That's mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. Okay. Let me get to a few words here from, this will be Caroline Leavitt first. Okay, Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary yesterday, talking about Alligator Alcatraz. Donald Trump obviously is going to be getting today a guided tour of Alligator Alcatraz. And listen, very exciting. I think it's one of these things where Alligator Alcatraz, it sounds like, one of those kind of gimmicky things, but you know that Trump and DeSantis are very excited, not just to troll, but also to aid in the mass deportation efforts. Let's get to this. Caroline Leavitt talking about yesterday, Alligator Alcatraz.
On a scheduling note, tomorrow, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located at Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. We hope to see many of you there. The facility is in the heart of the Everglades and will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is a one-way flight. It is isolated and surrounded by dangerous wildlife and unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens. This is an efficient and low-cost way to help carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history.
It's an efficient way, obviously. You don't have to build a perimeter because you've got gators for the perimeter, right? That's the whole point of the Alligator Alcatraz moniker, the whole idea of, if you want to call it the gimmick. I don't want to call it a gimmick. I don't think it's a gimmick. I think it is legitimate. I'm very happy with the idea of Alligator Alcatraz, but it is absolutely an efficient way to do it. A very efficient way to house and detain these immigrants, these illegal immigrants, and of course, process them in a quick, of course, and efficient manner, and a secure manner. So we love the idea of Alligator Alcatraz. We've been excited about the idea of Alligator Alcatraz for a while. What exactly is Alligator Alcatraz? For those of you who need a refresher, here is how the Attorney General of Florida, James Uthmeyer, characterized it a couple weeks ago.
30 square mile area is completely surrounded by the Everglades. Presents a efficient, low-cost opportunity to build a temporary detention facility because you don't need to invest that much in the perimeter. If people get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Within just 30 to 60 days after we begin construction, it could be up and running and could house as many as 1,000 criminal aliens. This presents a great opportunity for the state of Florida to work with Miami-Dade and Collier counties. Alligator Alcatraz, we're ready to go.
Alligator Alcatraz, ready to go. Today is the opening day of Alligator Alcatraz, and here's Donald Trump before departing the White House en route to Alligator Alcatraz this morning.
With the Alligator Alcatraz, it's the idea that if some illegal immigrants escape, they just get eaten by an alligator or a snake or something.
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If the snakes are fast, but alligators, we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay.
There's Trump making light of the Alligator Alcatraz thing. Obviously, what you see there from Donald Trump is him, kind of joking about the logistics of escaping from Alligator Alcatraz, how difficult it, of course, would be. And that's the funniest part about it. He talks about running in a zigzag. If you follow, and I love this account on Instagram, Gator Boys Chris, he worked at the Everglades Holiday Park for a while. He hand-fed a lot of the alligators. In my opinion, he's a crazy person, just like Reed Timmer, but crazy in a cool way because I am very entertained by what they do. Now, Reed Timmer, storm chasing, something I would love to do. Hand feeding alligators, something I would never do. Okay, I'm just going to be very clear about that. The myth of running in a zigzag, I don't know if that's. I think that's been debunked or busted. Chris says that's not going to help you, and I think he would know. Alligators, basically you need to be able to run fast for a long distance because gators can't really run that fast. But Donald Trump was making light of that, obviously. Look, if you're an illegal alien in Alligator Alcatraz and you try to escape, you're probably not going to survive, right? You're probably not going to survive. That's why yesterday I offered the Alligator Alcatraz challenge. Too many people thought I was serious about that, by the way. I got yelled at on X. Oh, now you want to give them citizenship? It's a joke. So, it's just people kind of got a little carried away with it. But I said in the video, too, that, I was kidding.
Make comedy great again.
But it's okay. Maybe it wasn't a good joke. Anyway,
jokes great
but you have the idea of, these illegals escaping, and it's not a good situation. The fact that you may encounter an alligator or a python or something else, right? I mean, Florida's got they got dinosaurs down there. Yeah. Huge snakes, water moccasins, monitor lizards, aren't they down there? Or some sort of
there's lizards down in like the South Florida, yeah.
Reptile type lizards that'll if they bite you, you're gonna get like an infection.
When it's cold, they fall out of the trees.
Yeah, you got the falling out of the trees.
Iguanas.
You're dodging iguanas falling out of the sky like hail. I
don't think monitor lizards though. I think it's iguanas.
No, it's monitor lizards. I think it's monitor lizards. I'm gonna say it's monitor lizards. That's what it is. All right, you got all sorts of crazy stuff. Prehistoric beasts. The Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park, right? That's what that thing is that kills Newman. Yeah. So you got a bunch of stuff. You're not going to want to escape. The bottom line is you're not going to want to escape. You're not going to survive very long outside of the perimeter of Alligator Alcatraz. That's the whole point of putting it there. And I'm excited to see the content that comes from the guided tour, the press conference, etc. All right, speaking of illegal aliens, though, I want to talk about Kilmar Abrego Garcia because that's one of the most illegal aliens in the history of the country. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is he's going to be held by this Tennessee judge. Now, originally, this Tennessee judge had ordered his release. We talked about it last week. This Tennessee judge, Barbara Holmes, who a week ago denied the government's motion for pretrial detention of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Why? I don't know. He's an illegal alien. He's a gang member. He's suspected of human smuggling. The guy is, he goes back and forth between Texas and Maryland. Why you don't think this guy's a flight risk, I don't understand. But this person denied, Judge Barbara Holmes, magistrate judge, denied the government's motion for pretrial detention of Kilmar Abrego Garcia while he awaits trial on 2 felony counts, the conspiracy to transport aliens and unlawful transportation of undocumented aliens, and has now entered an order, wait for this, granting Kilmar Abrego Garcia's emergency motion to delay issuing a release order. Okay, the legalese breaks down to this. The Judge Barbara Holmes, who a week ago ruled that Abrego Garcia should be released pending his criminal trial, is now agreeing to hold Kilmar Abrego Garcia at Kilmar Abrego Garcia's request. Okay, so why would Kilmar Abrego Garcia not want to be released from custody from this magistrate judge? Well, according to Kilmar Abrego Garcia's motion and his side of things, the government intimated in the still pending Maryland proceedings that should Kilmar Abrego Garcia be released from the U.S. Marshal's custody in Tennessee, he would likely be picked up by ICE and face removal to a third country. That sent his criminal defense attorney scrambling back to the court in Tennessee with an emergency motion asking the court to delay ordering his release in order to forestall his being removed from the country to someplace like South Sudan. So Kilmar Abrego Garcia does not want to be released because he's afraid if he gets released, he's going to get picked up by ICE and sent somewhere else. What was that?
I was going to say something and then my throat
Go ahead.
said something else. They're wondering, they thought these judges couldn't do stuff.
No, that's just nationwide injunctions. This has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
Yeah. These judges can't issue nationwide injunctions. In other words, if Donald Trump says that, I'm trying to figure out a good example. It's basically barring district courts from issuing injunctions that affect the entire country. This affects Kilmar Abrego Garcia and Kilmar Abrego Garcia only, right? So if Donald Trump said that, let's say, I'm trying to think of a good example here of these nationwide injunctions. Okay, let's use it. Let's use it in this case. If Donald Trump said that all illegal aliens are subject to deportation without due process under the Alien Enemies Act, and a concerned party sues in a district court and says, I didn't get due process, the court is not allowed to block it from happening to anybody else. They're only allowed to block it from happening to the party that is suing. You understand what I'm saying? So if Brennan was an illegal alien and she was in a gang, right, because she's a thug, and Donald Trump said, we're deporting Brennan, right, because she's in a gang and she's a thug and she's affiliated with MS-13 and Tren de Aragua, both foreign terrorist organizations. She gets deported, right, under that, or is ordered to be deported under that pretext, right? Mm. If she sues to stop the deportation, a judge can grant her the ability to stop the deportation because she's the affected party. What the judge cannot do is say, you can't do this to her and everybody else, right? They can't issue nationwide injunctions. This Kilmar Abrego Garcia thing has nothing to do with that ruling. Nothing to do with that ruling. All right. Hopefully that makes it clear. It's a totally different situation there. So it didn't take power away from all these district court judges. It just prevents them from issuing nationwide injunctions that affect the entire country because one party sued for something, right? Now, what it does do is if the judge grants Brennan the motion to delay her deportation, it basically sets precedent that can be used for all of these other parties to sue, but they all have to do it, right? It can't just be nationwide injunction. Now everybody has to stay. That's my understanding of the Supreme Court situation and that ruling. All right. Now, speaking of deportations and speaking of ICE, I don't know if you saw this yesterday, But CNN was basically on live television promoting this app called Ice Block, which is giving the real-time locations of where ICE agents are. Does nobody understand that this could be incredibly dangerous? Watch this.
The Trump administration steps up ICE raids and mass deportations. One tech developer is pushing back with an app designed to track ICE activity in real time. It's called Ice Block, and it's controversial to say the least. Senator Claire Duffy is with us now. How does this work, Claire, and what are the legal implications?
Yeah, John, I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether if they want. So you open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area, and then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data. And what I think is really interesting about this in this moment is we've seen so many of the biggest leaders in tech supporting President Trump, but Aaron is sort of an example of the fact that there are people within the tech industry who are really resistant to Trump's policies. I asked him what he would say to those tech leaders who, for example, were at the inauguration. Here's what he told me. Take a listen.
I understand that you have shareholders to report to. I understand that you have employees that need their paychecks. But at what point do you say enough is enough?
And John, I should say that ICE did not respond when I asked them about this platform and about Aaron's opposition to their activity.
Caroline Leavitt was asked a question about this potentially very dangerous app, and that's exactly what this is. This is very dangerous, and CNN is highlighting it and platforming it like it's some sort of good thing. If the left wasn't a bunch of rabid animals, I wouldn't have that much of a problem with it, right? But we know what the goal here, when somebody doxes somebody online, what is the goal? What is the main goal of doxing somebody, posting somebody's address, posting where somebody works, posting somebody's personal phone number, right? What is the goal of when you dox somebody online? You're not doing it for fun. You're not doing it to show off your skills. You're doing it to intimidate that person. You're doing it basically to threaten that person. I know where you live, and now the entire internet knows where you live too. And if somebody is sick in the head and wants to do you harm, they know where you live, so you better be scared. What was the whole point of the swatting that happened here? It was intimidation. It was supposed to scare us. It's supposed to make you, silent and put you into hiding. That's what doxing is supposed to is designed for by these people who use it as a punishment, right? It's supposed to be a negative. When you are telling everybody the real-time location of ICE, right? You're not doing it because you want people to go out there and throw them a party. You're doing it because you want people to obstruct their operations. And the left, the radical left, the Antifa left, right? The LA rioters on the left, when ICE came into their town, they burned the town down. They got in the way. They assaulted them. They threw rocks, Molotov cocktails. You know exactly what you're doing. Exactly what you're doing when you put out an app like this. And CNN knows exactly what they're doing when they're talking about it on live television like that. They are inciting, and they are telling people, hey, this exists if you want to get in on it. Winky, winky, nod, nod, right?
Hey, we know her.
We know her. Here's the White House yesterday, Caroline Leavitt, learning about this for the first time, not happy about it.
Mary.
Thanks, Caroline. I just watched a CNN segment on a new app called Ice Block, and it kind of appeared to be promoting this app where you can tell people where ICE agents are. Given the recent rise...
An app that tells people where ICE agents are?
Yes. And given the rise, I believe, 500% increase in assaults on ICE agents, I wanted to see if you could comment on that and why CNN would be promoting such an app.
Well, it's a very good question. I'll have to go back and watch the clip myself, but surely it sounds like this would be an incitement of further violence against our ICE officers. As you know, as you stated, there's been a 500% increase in violence against ICE agents, law enforcement officers across the country who are just simply trying to do their jobs and remove public safety threats from our communities. And that's something we as Americans, including journalists at CNN who live in many of these cities where illegal aliens are hiding and were let in from the previous administration, should be very grateful for. So we haven't seen the clip. We'll take a look at it, but certainly it's unacceptable that a major network would promote such an app that is encouraging violence against law enforcement officers who are trying to keep our country safe.
You have a 500% increase, on attacks on ICE agents. And you've got CNN, you've got fake news CNN promoting this app that is giving the real-time locations of where these ICE agents are. They want these people hurt. Make no mistake. They want these people hurt. Now, I don't know if there's anything illegal about what CNN did. I don't think you can throw anybody in jail for reporting on this app, because that's what they're going to say they did. Oh, we were just reporting on the existence of the app. We didn't tell anybody to go download it. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. But we know exactly what they're doing. They are putting our law enforcement officers. These are the same people who cried about Brian Sicknick on January 6th. Oh, he died on January 6th. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. These are the same people who cried about Donald Trump pardoned people who beat police officers. You are promoting an app, and you know exactly what people are using it for. They are not using it to hide. They're not using it to know and get a heads up on where ICE is. They're using it to attack these officers. They can now be using it to ambush these officers. We just had firefighters ambushed in the state of Idaho. They don't care about that. They don't care. They're going to promote this app that can allow people to know where ICE is and ambush them. If one of these officers loses their life, you could maybe make the case that CNN's complicit. You could absolutely make the case that the developers of that app are complicit. It's despicable. You don't like ICE? Fine. You want to help illegal aliens evade them against the law? Fine. Stop with the violence. Just stop with the violence. But they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. They are violent people. They are sick people. They are deranged people. This is what we're up against. And when it counts come election time, guess what they do? They show up. Whether it's, by the way, whether it's actually them or fake ballots, something shows up voting for Democrats. So we got to do the same. Because that's what we're up against. And they're only getting worse. They just elected a communist jihadist in New York City. He's going to be their next mayor. That's what we're up against. They show up. A bunch of socialists showed up in the New York City primary and elected a jihadist communist. They show up. In one way or another, whether you believe it's fake, whether you believe it's not fake, whether you believe it's a mixture of fake and real, they put points on the board. We've got to do the same thing. Don't worry about how they put points on the board. Worry about how to put more points on the board than they do. Period. Okay. Let's take a quick break. We got to talk to you because, look, when you talk about these people getting tracked, right, like ICE, you know what they could use? Maybe they have them. Maybe they'll get them. Maybe they'll get one of these silent backpacks, put their phones in, put their trackers in, so that they can't be tracked and traced by these lunatics who are looking to ambush them and assault them and attack them and prevent them from doing their jobs. Between radical leftists, the government, big tech, corporate America, and criminals, your privacy is compromised 24/7. It's a shame, but it's true. There's no other option. You have to protect yourself, and you can start doing that with Silent, S-L-N-T. Silent's Faraday products block all incoming and outgoing signals so that your devices are invisible and safe from the outside world, from their backpacks, their phone sleeves, and even their pants. Patented signal blocking technology blocks wireless signals, giving you peace of mind that your data does not end up in the wrong hands. Just place your device inside of it. close it. And that's it. That's all you got to do. You are safeguarded from unauthorized access. It blocks all incoming and outgoing signals. It blocks radiation from the device that may be harmful to you. And these products prevent tracking and hacking. Once you put that device in the bag, in the sleeve, or in those pant pockets, you are invisible. You are safe from all of that nonsense. Go to Silent. That's slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN. That's silent.com, slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN, silent.com/Sean for 15% off, 15% off. That's Silent, slnt.com/Sierra Hotel Alpha Whiskey November for 15% off at checkout and free shipping on qualifying orders. Silent.com, slnt.com/Sean, SHAWN. Okay, one more thing is the LFA TV store. I want to show you real quick. We had the final day of the spring cleaning sale, unless an audible was called. But yesterday was June 30th, and it did say that was when the spring cleaning sale ended. But here we are at the LFA TV store, LFATV.us, LFATV.us. Click on the Visit the Store tab, and you will see everything that there is to offer over here at the LFA TV store, including the mugs, including the shirts, including the tumblers and the keychains and the tote bags and the flannels, right? LFATV.us. There is no better way to celebrate the 4th of July. Right? To celebrate the beginning of America's 250th birthday by going to LFATV.us, LFATV.us, or JeremyHerald.com/store for some patriotic, amazing LFA TV merch, LFATV.us or JeremyHerald.com/store. A sip of tea.
Gulp.
We have good sound effects. Brennan providing the Foley sound today. The Foley
you gotta
sound.
do what you gotta do when there's
Foley,
no soundboard.
Foley sound is amazing. That means like sound in real time. Okay. So we had to do this in one of our radio classes. We had to take, it was like a radio video class, but we had to reenact a scene and make all the sounds ourselves. So like when somebody walked, we had to step. And I came up with the best idea for a gunshot. And it was popping a balloon. Nobody in the class knew, except people in my radio class. So we popped the balloon in a corridor. So it sounded like a gunshot with this really great reverb in a stairwell. Mm-hmm. But nobody in this video class remembered that. Okay. So we're sitting in the video class and we get to the scene where there's a gunshot. And I'm just standing there with the balloon. Nobody knows why I have a balloon. Mm-hmm. And I just go, bah! And the balloon pops. Everybody jumped. And I was like, that was a good gunshot. Yeah. Foley sound that's what you did with the mm-hmm. Right? There you go. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's move on. This third-party thing. Elon Musk says he wants to start the America Party. Look, in concept, right? In theory, it sounds good, right? Who wouldn't want a political party that better represents our interests to be a major player in American politics? Of course I want that, right? Of course I want that. But is it easier to build a car from scratch? Or is it easier to buy a car and fix it up and restore it so that it's good as new, right? Why don't we ask Elon Musk this question? And I said this in a video, got over 100,000 views last night. Did Elon Musk start his own social media platform, or did he buy Twitter, turn it into X, and make it better? Obviously, he bought Twitter, turned it into X, and improved a lot of things. It's not perfect, but he improved a lot of things. There is, I hate to say it, and I don't want to say, never, they say never say never, but a third party in this country, due to the dynamic, is just not going to work. The math ain't mathin', folks, okay? Let's go to 2024, right? The election results. Democrats got about 47% or so of the vote, right? Do the Democrats ever split with each other? No. They don't split with each other. As this study from that's cited by the Gateway Pundit here, there's more diversity of thought on the political right than there is on the political left. What does that mean? That means when push comes to shove, Democrats stick with Democrats more times than not. So that 47% of the vote, which is not a majority, right? It is a plurality in this case. That 47% of the vote is likely going to remain, for the most part, intact. Maybe they lose a couple of percentage points, whatever. But that 47% of the vote that the Democrats get is going to remain largely intact, okay? The Republican Party right now has a broad message that appeals to the 53% of people that don't vote Democrat, right? And so if you get a large majority of that 53% to vote Republican, we can defeat the Democrats. If you introduce a third party, and let's say, and I don't think this is even possible, but let's say this third party, America Party, is a viable party, and it pulls, let's say, 20% of the Republican vote. So you have 47% of people who are voting for Democrats vote blue no matter who, that whole crowd. That's not going to split. You've got 53% outstanding that's now going to be split two ways. 33% of people are going to vote Republican. Let's say 20% of people are voting America Party or some other party. You've now lost. You've now lost. The Democrats now will win every single election if we run with this third party idea. And that is why when people proposed it in 2020 and 2021 after the stolen election, and people said it's time to start a new party, my answer back then, just like my answer now, is no. It is a lot easier to do what Elon Musk did with Twitter than it is if he had started a brand new social media platform from scratch. What did Twitter have before Elon Musk bought it? It already had offices. It already had staff. It already had users. It already had servers. The Republican Party is the same exact thing. What does the nationwide GOP have that a brand new America Party or third party doesn't have? It already has staff. It has a fundraising apparatus. It's got the ability to secure ballot access in all 50 states. It has committees at the state, local, county levels. It's got all of that stuff already in place. It is a lot easier and a lot more efficient to just take over the Republican Party than it is to start a third party. I see all these people puffing their chests out. We're going to do a third party. I said, okay, but how is it going to be viable and how is it more helpful than it is hurtful? It's not. The idea here is to finally get serious, right? Get serious about being perpetually involved in your county, state, federal politics. You've got to do it. If you don't do it, it doesn't matter how many parties. You can have a pizza party. You're not going to win, right? The goal is to win. The goal is to not destroy the Republican Party and hand every election to the Democrats. The goal is to win. If we want America First ideas, cutting spending, cutting foreign aid, strong border, right? Eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, shrinking the size of government. We can do that, but we can't do that if we divide up the coalition, right? Because the math ain't mathin', period. The best way to do it is to go in motivated, saying, I am going to be a part of what takes over the Republican Party, takes over the infrastructure, takes over the entire apparatus, and then once you're in there, once you're embedded in it, once you're a committee chairman, once you're a county chairman, once you're a precinct captain, once you're a state chair or a vice chair or an office holder or a highly regarded member in your state, you now have more power over who your party endorses, over what candidates make the ballot, and all of those different issues, including platform issues. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to start a brand new party up from scratch, right? Having to file all the necessary paperwork to get that party recognized in all 50 states, having to find committees, having to find office spaces, having to secure ballot access across all 50. These are expensive things. I mean, look at the war chest that RFK Jr. was working with Nicole Shanahan, and they were only able to get on the ballot in 18 states. And what did he do? Rather than helping Kamala, because he was dividing among people who would ultimately vote Trump, he coalesced with Donald Trump. This is not going to be something that is fixed like this. It's going to take time. But it is a hell of a lot easier to take over an existing party than it is to build a brand new, viable, competitive, and a party that is capable of winning. That's the most important thing, winning. Who cares if you have your third party if you keep losing and the enemy keeps winning, right? Now, why am I saying take over the Republicans? Some people are like, well, why the Republican Party? Republican Party's dirty. Are you listening or not? I'm not saying the Republicans are our friends. We are our friends. We are the people who have to take the people in the Republican Party that are establishment swamp rats and kick them out. They're like, you like the Republican Party? Here's why I think taking over the Republican Party is better than starting a brand new party. This Gallup poll came out yesterday. Okay? Some people are so thick with this line of, I don't want to be a member of the GOP. I'm not saying to be I'm not saying to join the GOP and vote for them oh my God. Some people just don't get it. I'm talking about people on X. They're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be a member of the GOP. Yes, you do. You want to take it over. I'm not telling you to join them because you like them now. I'm telling you to think several steps ahead. This Gallup poll on American pride, because think about it. When I say Twitter had the users, the GOP right now has the quote unquote users already. They've got the voters. Most GOP voters think like us. Leadership is the problem. Representation in Congress is the problem. We can fix that problem when we become the leadership. Here's a poll that came out, Gallup survey. Pride in being an American by political party. 92% of Republicans are proud. They say they're proud to be an American. 92%. Those are the people I want to work with off the bat. 92% of self-identifying Republicans are proud to be an American. Do you know what the number is for Democrats? 36%. 36%. Could you believe that? 53% of independents are proud to be Americans. What does that mean? That means 53% of independents, the majority of independents right now, lean in our direction. We got to get those people. We got to get those people. I'm going to show you the graph. This graph tells you a couple different things. First of all, here's the American Pride graph. The Republicans are the red line. Democrats are the blue line. Okay? Look at how steady and consistent that red line is. Yeah, there's some swings. You could tell when Biden was president, right? But look at how steady and consistent that line is. Look at the blue line. Look at the blue line. Right? Isn't that crazy? How unstable it is? Up and down and up and down and up and down. And so they're only proud when they're in power. They're not proud when they're not in power. Doesn't that highlight what we've been saying about the Democrats for years? That they're not stable people? Even when Joe Biden was president, over almost 90% of Republicans said they were proud to be Americans, myself included. I wasn't proud of our president, but I love my country, and I'm proud of my country. 92% of, look at how stable that red line is. Look at how much of a mess and how erratic and all over the place that blue line is. That's why taking over the GOP, in my opinion, is the best way forward, not a third party. When you have 92% of a voting, a party, a major party in this country, voters who are proud to be Americans, that's okay. That's a great place to start. Those are the people I want to work with. I don't want to split those people up. I don't want to divide those people and allow the Democrats to win. And that 53% of independents, I bet you will be an even higher number once we're able to start turning out results.
Trump is speaking right now at Alligator Alcatraz. I don't know if you want to try to.
I don't think there's a feed that I can get to in time. I will try to. Before we do any of that, and as we get to that, I want to talk to you about one more new sponsor. This is Patriot Mobile. You guys have heard of Patriot Mobile before. PatriotMobile.com/Farish. It's my last name, Farash. PatriotMobile.com/Farish or 972-Patriot. Listen, I realize that there's a lot of choices when it comes to who you choose for your cell phone service, and there are new ones popping up all the time. But here's the truth. There's only one that boldly stands in the gap for every American that believes that freedom is worth fighting for, and that is Patriot Mobile. Gotta love them. I know a lot of people who have Patriot Mobile, by the way, and they are very, very happy about their service. For more than 12 years, Patriot Mobile has been on the front lines fighting for our God-given rights and freedoms, while also providing exceptional nationwide cell service with access to all 3 of the major networks. Don't just take my word for it. Ask the hundreds of thousands of Americans who've made the switch and are now supporting causes that they believe in simply by joining Patriot Mobile. Switching is easier than ever. Activate in minutes from the comfort of your own home. Keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade your phone. Patriot Mobile's all-U.S.-based support team, that's a plus, is standing by to take care of you. Call 972-PATRIOT today. 972-PATRIOT today, or go to patriotmobile.com/Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H. Use the code Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, for a free month of service. That's patriotmobile.com/Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, or call 972-PATRIOT and make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/Farish, F-A-R-A-S-H, or 972-PATRIOT. Make the switch today. All right, I'm going to see if I could find Donald Trump speaking, if I could find a clean feed. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. The White House does not have a feed up with the Alligator Alcatraz press conference. I'm going to see here if I can find it elsewhere. Let's see. This may be good enough. I think I may be able to make this one work. Hopefully, let's give it 1 second, and I will try my best to break into Donald Trump at Alligator Alcatraz. Just give me a moment, and I will try and do this right now. Obviously, the last time we tried to do this, disaster ensued, but we will try and make this happen without the disaster ensuing. So give it just a second. Of course, disaster has already ensued, as there is sound coming out of every orifice of my computer. I am going to try and make this full screen. And no, this isn't going to work, guys. Let's do this. What if we do this? Yeah. Okay. I think I may be able to do it. Let's go to Donald Trump at Alligator Alcatraz.
Just like they don't have any idea what they did on the border, they have no idea. Medicaid is in big trouble with the Democrats.
So you can promise anyone who loses their health care coverage that is because of waste, fraud, and abuse?
Waste, fraud, only waste, fraud, and abuse, which is what everybody We'll see what happens. I'm watching it very much. Well, it's going to be a very quick celebration. Great hit. It was a obliteration. They now turned out it wasn't. You know, they demeaned CNN mostly in the New York Times, fake New York Times. They demeaned these great soldiers. They went over there 17 hours flying, and they hit bullseye after bullseye after bullseye. It all blew up. Everybody saw it. Then they get back, and CNN said, well, they did okay, but maybe it wasn't. It was beyond obliteration. Nobody can even get down there. The tunnels are busted. Everything flows really well. It was a total and complete obliteration, and we should celebrate these heroes. And what I'm doing is I'm bringing them on, we're bringing them to Florida or to the White House. I gave you a choice.
Mr. President, there's going to be a new bill called Make American Elections Great Again, forcing the U.S. Census Bureau to redo the census to actually get an account of how many Americans who for citizenship are in our area, in our country, redistricting some of the House districts. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll speak for both of us. You don't like this. I know all about it. We want to bring our elections back. The election in 2020, we raised millions and millions of votes. It had to do with COVID and all stuff. It really had to do with their crooked people. The Democrats are very good at cheating. And that's why I said too big to win. They tried this one too. but after about 9:02, they gave up too big to rig. Ron would love it. I would love it. Krista would love it. That's what they have to do. They have to bring it back. And we have to look, Ron, they include anybody that happens to be in your state.
Well, California would lose like 5 seats if they did a fair census. And even beyond that, the Biden census gypped Florida of at least 1 seat. We only got 1 seat in the last census. Are you trying to tell me that Florida only had 1 seat in that? We should have had at least 2. Texas should have had another one. That could be the difference in the House of Representatives in the majority. So I would love for them to redo the census for 26. My legislature will redistrict those lines. We'll get it to where it's fair. But as it's right now, this country is not fairly apportioned. I've got so many more millions of people in Florida that have representation because of that flawed census.
Mr. President.
I think it's going to do very well. A lot of people it's captivating. Everybody wants it. It's going to get in. It's going to pass. And it's going to be very happy.
Elon Musk is ripping into this bill again. Are you concerned the Republicans are going to be swayed by Musk and his money?
No, I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is Doge is going to look at Musk. And if Doge looks at Musk, we're going to say fortune. Thank you very much, everybody. I don't think you should be playing that game.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
All right, there goes. And so the press conference has ended there. Donald Trump speaking, of course, over at Alligator Alcatraz. And let me
Grainger has the safety pros
close
to
that
call.
out there.
Shop our vast inventory of safety products.
See, this is why I don't like doing that, because now I got nothing but sound. All right, Alligator Alcatraz is done. There we go. I was able to fix it. There we go. All of a sudden, it was doing what it did last week, where the sound just keeps playing. Stop playing. But there it was. So you heard Donald Trump talking about a little bit some of the goings on Capitol Hill, some of the talks about Alligator Alcatraz, and a little parting shot at Elon Musk. There you go. I was happy to be able to bring that in there. Sorry about any potential sound problems. There was I guess a jet that was making a lot of noise in the background there, and of course you also had the audio was coming in split. It was coming in stereo instead of mono. So that's why there may have been, if you're watching on like a TV, it may have sounded really bad. Apologize for that. Look into a way to fix that in the future. Hey, at least we didn't get helium Trump today, right? At least we didn't get helium Trump. All right, Jeremy Harrell is coming up next with Live from America at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Happy Alligator Alcatraz Day. By the way, that one item, the big beautiful bill that I said was a good item that we didn't get to because I got stuck on the third-party stuff, which is just lunacy and nonsense, is that the big beautiful bill would defund Planned Parenthood, which I think is, again, worth fighting for. You want to cut spending, there's a good way to do it. But Jeremy Harrell is coming up next on Live from America at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, as President Trump would say. We will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never, ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. Happy Alligator Alcatraz Day, in the words of John Fetterman. Good night, everybody. Bang, gavel. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you for your attention to this matter.